Said I wasn't going to make another Xavien Howard video, but Michael Silver comes out and just blows up everything. What is up, Finn fans? Yes. See by the title, and I'm pretty sure you see Kate Flexen's video, you've seen TD's video, or TD's live, I think when I'm recording this. Reason talked about it. There's some news and some updates. I guess you can call them updates on the Xavien Howard situation. So Michael Silver came out and he said, a few things. And I'm going to break them down and then we're going to talk about it. But to me, none of this necessarily seems new, because before I even read these tweets, my thought process was always the Dolphins are going to try to make it work. If not, they weren't going to pay him more than he wanted. And if that didn't happen, they were going to trade him. That was always my mindset. I got a lot of flack in the comment section. Well, not a lot, but I got flack in the comment section from Xavien Howard fans, which I am a very big Xavien Howard fan, that, we got to make it work. We got to make it work. You can't trade him. We got to make it work. So let's see what Michael Silver had to say, right? So I'll pop the tweets up. It's like a little mini thread. It's about 3 tweets. First tweet, he says, excited about my new gig, Washington NFL contributor gig, blah, blah, blah. Then he says, NFL Network, some journalists, there's a lot of trade chatter concerning Dolphins all-pro cornerback Xavien Howard, who led the NFL with 10 interceptions in 2020, is unhappy with his contract. 2, Howard, who signed a 5-year, $75.25 million extension 2 years ago, wants a new improved deal in the wake of his stellar 2020 season. He's not likely to get it from Miami. It would likely take at least a first-round pick plus the willingness to pay up to land him. In his third tweet, there are several teams all in win now mode pondering such a move. If no one steps up to meet Miami's price, Howard, who skipped the offseason program, could try to force the issue by holding out of camp. He could be fined $50,000 a day in that scenario. Stay tuned. So with Michael Silver coming out and saying this, literally nothing he has said is new to me. Maybe it's new to anyone else who kind of just tuned out of, football once, mini camps ended. They were like, I'm going to take a break, going to go live my life, whatever. But for me, somebody who's keeping a very close eye on this Xavien Howard situation, this is nothing new to me. We all know that Xavien Howard wants a new contract. We all know that, he wants more money, and we all know that the Dolphins are not going to give him more money. We all know that it's going to take probably a first-round pick because, you're trying to trade for a corner who just had 10 interceptions. It's going to cost a pretty penny. I guess the little new thing is, there's some teams that are in the win now mode that might go out and pull the trigger and make this move. Now again, I'll pop up the tweets of the sources that I'm hearing. Jeff Duncan says, if Howard hits the trade market, I expect the Saints to be heavily involved in trying to hand him or trade him or something in that scenario. I'm also hearing the Browns. You might even hear maybe even the Titans, some big, they're trying to win now. They've been consistently in the playoffs, those types of teams. Now, if you guys remember a while back, Professor Klump, aka Jeremy Klump, came out with that article that I did a reaction to, essentially the 5 trade scenarios for Xavien Howard. And one of them was the New Orleans Saints. They would give us a first and will clap your cheeks, for Xavien Howard. And I said, to me, that was the most enticing because we get another center in here to compete, and hopefully, we can find that center and find somebody to really solidify that offensive line, and we get a first. I think that was one of the only scenarios, except for the Eagles trade, which the Carson Wentz one, if he had a really good stellar season, would become a first. That was the only one really that had a first in it. I honestly think that the Dolphins are going to try their hardest to get a first. Now, let's take a step back from our player fandom, and the loss of Xavien Howard is going to suck. The Dolphins had a ridiculously good secondary because of the combination of Byron Jones and Xavien Howard. A lot of people like to say the only reason Xavien Howard got 10 interceptions is because Byron Jones was on the other side, and try to diminish what Xavien Howard did, because they're either upset with him doing this holdout. They don't want to have that attachment anymore because he looks like he's got both feet out the door. Whatever it may be, Xavien Howard is a stellar, incredible corner. 2018, he had no one on the opposite side of him. He had 7 interceptions. So, yes, it did help that Byron Jones was on the other side, but Xavien Howard is still a top 5, top 3 cornerback in this league. Will he be that next year or the year after? That's the other thing we have to think about. And again, I am the biggest Xavien Howard fan. I want him to stay. I want to keep this top 2, top 1, whatever, however you rank this tandem that we have with Jones and Howard. I want to keep it together. That being said, Xavien Howard has stayed healthy for what? This is his 2nd season. He stayed healthy while he's in the league. What are the odds he stays healthy again? The Dolphins, gave him the type of contract they did because of that. He bet on himself. He signed it. He won that bet. Now he wants more. There's that whole situation. So, but it honestly seems like with all the stuff that's going on and getting closer to camp, if you guys remember, I said the closer we get to camp, if it doesn't seem to be happening, it seems more likely he's going to get traded. And we are getting closer and closer to camp. Today's the 14th. We got, 13 more days until training camp, less than 2 weeks. It doesn't seem likely, which means that now it's just the whole situation of making the phone calls, trying to make the trades, trying to get that stuff done. Because if they were going to get a contract extension going, they got 13 days to do it. So, but it's going to suck because now, say the Dolphins do trade Xavien Howard, say they don't pull off a miracle, last minute Hail Mary, get him whatever type of contract that makes him happy, makes the team happy, and they can stay together. But, if you watched Inside the NFL, he had Omar Kelly on. He said that right now the money situation isn't even near what is the problem. So it sucks, but it seems like more likely than not, Xavien Howard is going to be traded because of that, because of whatever. Does he feel slighted? He talked about that a couple months ago. He felt slighted that the Dolphins brought in Byron Jones, that the Dolphins traded for drafted Noah Igbenogany. He felt slighted that, why? Because I can't stay healthy? Well, I'm going to prove you every game. Well, you did. But the Dolphins weren't wrong in that scenario. You weren't staying healthy. It just is what it is. They needed a security blanket. They need something to make sure, and God forbid you did. So now it seems like, it's not even the money situation from other rumors. So if Xavien Howard does get traded, like I said, if some miracle doesn't happen and the Dolphins end up keeping Xavien Howard, then we're in the scenario of who is going to play opposite of Byron Jones. Now, we saw what happened when Noah played opposite of X, and we saw Stephon Diggs completely torch him. We saw the Seattle Seahawks game, him give up stupid plays, stupid touchdowns, all that stuff. Has he gotten better? Has him, actually going through an offseason program helped him become the corner we need opposite Byron Jones, the corner we need taken with the 30th overall pick? I don't know. But that also thinks, were they already planning this situation, the Dolphins? Is that why they brought in Jason McCourty? Is that why, they did the certain moves? Coleman, Nick Needham, not saying they brought in Nick Needham for this situation, but they brought in more corners to potentially replace X, to potentially be good enough on that side that the pass rush they're trying to build can help. Now, we're going to lose a 10 interception guy. We're going to lose the top 3 cornerback in the league if they can't get this done. I'm not saying it won't happen, but it does seem less likely than not that it will happen. But if the Dolphins get anything less than a first, I'll be bummed. If they get like 2 2s, I'll be like, all right. Like 2 2s and a player that we need. Imagine, I'm not saying it's going to happen. Imagine they pull it off somehow, that the Dolphins trade Xavien Howard to the Saints for a third. I know you're like, oh, third, and Alvin Kamara. Because remember, Alvin Kamara and the Saints were in a little bit of a, tussle over a contract, extension and all that stuff. Imagine they pulled that off. Then I'd be happy. I'd be like, all right, I'm good, because we got a younger guy who could play longer, who's produced more, and unfortunately we lose somebody else. But I'll keep you guys updated if more news happens. Like I said, I made this video, keep you guys updated. But be sure to comment below. What do you guys think? I know a lot of us are Xavien Howard fans, but you got to sit back and you got to look at it. You got to look at all the pieces. Now, could this be Chris Greer's fault? Could this be Brian Flores' fault? A lot of people want to talk about, well, we lost an all-pro safety, and then we traded an all-pro left tackle. Now we're going to get rid of an all-pro corner. But you got to look at Xavien Howard. Yes, the amount of interceptions he had and the amount of time he's played is phenomenal. But it's the amount of time he's played. So me being the biggest Xavien Howard fan, it sucks, but we'll see what happens. Can they pull it off? Doesn't seem likely. I'm sorry. It doesn't seem likely. But be sure to comment below. Just making this video, quick video, give you guys an update. I got videos planned. I got a video planned for Friday. So be sure to hit the subscribe button. Be sure to hit the like button. Lets me know that you like this stuff. Like I said, I'm talking to a voice of the Dolphins, trying to get him on the channel, see how that all pans out. But other than that, guys, I'll talk to you on Friday. Again, unless news breaks. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.